What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage, and it looks like we're finally getting some movement on some bills in Congress, namely with the Transportation Freedom Act. And this bill was introduced by Senator Moreno back in February, I believe, February 25th, somewhere around that range. And it was basically stuck in Finance Committee for months. Now, part of that had to do with them having to push and go through with the big, beautiful bill and get that passed, and then pushing through the Congressional Review Acts, which a lot of people are saying, okay, so what is the purpose now for the Transportation Freedom Act, where we already have these CRAs and the big, beautiful bill? The EV mandates are effectively dead. The tax credits for EVs are also gone. So what are we looking for here? What is the goal, right? And it has to do with the auto industry. It also has to do with useful life on emissions. So for everybody that's like, when can I delete my diesel truck? When can I get this crap off of my truck if it's broken? Like if you hit a pothole or whatever, right? That's where this bill is important. So now that it's coming out of finance, so they're supposed to have a vote to get it out of the finance committee tomorrow. That's what is showing up on the schedule now. And once it comes out from there, and because it's such a bipartisan bill, that's the other thing that people don't want to talk about, right? I don't think this bill on its own has an issue getting out of the Senate with 60 votes because of the tax incentives for workers. It is a super pro-union bill, but it's also a super pro-auto manufacturing bill because they get like a 200% tax write-off on each one of those employees that make a certain amount of money a year. I highly recommend that you go through and read the bill. I'll go ahead and add a link in the description down below, but it's good to see this because I know if they're doing this, and I've been monitoring HR 4117 in the House. HR 4117 is more relevant towards emission standards totally. The Transportation Freedom Act makes cars cheaper, incentivizes the crap out of building stuff here, okay, for like cars. So for all those people that are laid off at Warren and Toledo and some of these other places, it would incentivize them to bring those employees back, right? So both of them are good bills. I think that there's going to come a time, though, where you have the Stop Carb Act, right? You have the Transportation Freedom Act, and now you got the House Resolution 4117. I think what ends up happening is they probably merge these together into something else. And maybe it just ends up being the Transportation Freedom Act. They keep the name. I don't know. But I think they're going to merge them together because trying to get, yes, you can get bipartisan support on 4117 for sure. You can get bipartisan support on the Transportation Freedom Act. I don't know if you're going to get bipartisan support on the Stop Carb Act. But if you had put them all together, right, there could be provisions in there that Democrats aren't going to like. There could be provisions in there that Republicans aren't going to like. But they could put together a bill that accomplishes those goals on both sides and gets it done. But anyways, not a super long video. I just wanted to give you guys the heads up on what was coming here with the Transportation Freedom Act and the fact that it is evidently coming out of committee, or it's coming up for a vote to come out of committee. So that's a win. There's some movement there, finally. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. We are closing out our Tesla Model S giveaway. That is closing out on July 16th. So the 17th at 12:10 a.m. That's it. We are doing 20x entries between now and the end of the giveaway. So how it works, you pick up any of the merch below the screen here, or go to tksgarage.com directly. Every dollar spent counts as 20 entries. Very simple. So good luck. Thank you guys very much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And as always, stay petty, my friends.